Alright guys, so let's go ahead and talk about the Bitcoin price action because we did get a little bit more of a move to the downside, which isn't too surprising honestly because we never filled that CME gap since our last dump was over the weekend, but we have now gone ahead and fulfilled the CME gap to the downside, as you can see right within here at around 67,500, and now wicking nicely back above trend as well as back above volume. So a nice tap into this big value area high that we had throughout this entire range. Let's go ahead and turn on some of these indicators. So it's this same volume cluster that we've been talking about, and the reason why I was not concerned after we had gotten the breakout here is because this is acting as big support. It's going to take a lot for Bitcoin to break through that, and I'm under the impression that it won't. I'm under the impression that Bitcoin is pretty much bottomed within this range and is going to hold this backtest as support at this point, especially now that we have fulfilled CME, and we should finally be looking for a march up into all-time highs throughout the next coming weeks. We also have the USA presidential election within the next 24 hours. Will we get the results tomorrow or the next day? Who really knows? Maybe it'll take weeks to get the results in because they're very incompetent with that. But I think the shakeout before the election was pretty pre-programmed, and I think the higher prices after the election is also pre-programmed no matter who wins. So I wouldn't be too worried about it, but definitely is a catalyst that could involve some pretty volatile price action, as we already are starting to see. More on the charting side of things, you can see this bull div that we had on the chart is now 3 drives of that hourly bull div. We also have a 4-hour exaggerated bull div coming in here, so this is a very good sign here on the chart. Definitely at this point I would say the low's in, right? We said it could be in here, good chance it's in there. Okay, now at this point, yes, we tapped the big value area high, the big volume cluster. We should be done with the corrective phase. The shakeout should be over for this move. Not only were all the longs flushed as we talked about yesterday, right, the big open interest, the reset, but on this secondary move down, we went ahead and actually trapped a whole bunch of shorts. So you can see open interest was coming up, CVD going down. Lots of shorts were opening within this range. Now technically they're not trapped yet, right? We need to see price actually recover this. Once we can get back above the 68,500 region, then you will have confirmed that the trap is set and you're going to use them to go ahead and squeeze on up higher. But we'll see. There is a chance it's bearish continuation as always, and there are some indications that we could go a little bit lower, not necessarily some, but really just one instead. We got a big wall down here. Now these walls are not really a huge indication as to a reason the price is going down, but it's an indication that someone else has a reasoning to be buying here. So if someone else is putting up 1,000 Bitcoin out of their portfolio to bid down here at 63,800, they are likely looking to actually fill this position. They're not just going to put up money and let it sit there without earning yield if they don't expect to get filled. So we could see price magnet down there. That's sometimes what happens with these big walls. We also have some walls down below here. We got a whole bunch of buying pressure actually in the order books, and that could also be a sign that, hey, Bitcoin isn't going to give these big whales the chance to buy. It's going to move on up, and all of these orders are going to have to go ahead and move on up to FOMO into price higher up, and I would expect actually the latter. But I did want to mention it as this wall was put into the order books right after I had made that video yesterday, so definitely something to keep in the back of your heads. If we did sweep down to that 63,800, that would be grabbing these lows, so it'd be changing structure a little bit, but not the end of the world. If we did, that would be testing the point of control, not necessarily the big value area high cluster that we're within right now, but definitely would put in a lower low, and I would prefer that not to play out. I am much more comfortable saying this is where we should be holding. This makes the most sense to me. We have a lot more confidence to say this is where Bitcoin is going to end the corrective phase and continue the higher lows and continue up onto all-time highs, as the trend is your friend to the end of the trend, and the trend has definitely not ended yet. We're definitely maintaining this nice bullish structure here on Bitcoin, and we got nice bullish order flow with all those longs getting closed out and now shorts piling in at the lows. This is exactly what you want to see, and structurally we are set up for a very, very nice run here that potentially could do even more than I'm expecting. I've been saying we're probably going to get up into all-time highs and then do a little bit of distribution and then fall into the bear market, but having this shakeout now versus when we get to all-time highs is a little bit more bullish, right? Because now we don't have to swing fail these highs and take out all the longs. No, we already took out the longs, so as long as we don't have a lot of people FOMOing into the market, this could send on up much higher, and this could be a proper breakout back test and then go into 80, 90, $100,000 plus, as Bitcoin likes to do when you break all-time highs, right? Just look back at 2020 when we broke the all-time highs of $20,000. This thing didn't stop, and it just continued to march on up once it reached the price discovery. So don't fade Bitcoin here, even though I am a little bit more conservative, especially due to recessionary indicators that we have. I would say a bit of a blow off top to capitulate all of the bears back into the market before we do enter a recession. Does make a lot of sense. Also, I should touch on this. On the daily time frame, we got a nice hidden bullish divergence. So higher lows on price, lower lows on the RSI. I love hidden bull divs, and a hidden bull div on the daily time frame can signal a macro low. So amazing to see that here on the charts. And I'm very excited for the near-term future of Bitcoin, and I think it's time to send back on up. But with that being said, if you do have any questions about anything I talked about or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also got a bunch of exchange partners linked down there as well, so feel free to use those referral links if you want to get yourself some nice bonuses and rewards. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.